In this video, I'm going to set myself some limitations from the start and let that help guide the song and make decision making quicker and kind of make the process more fun as well. I'm going to use bits of hardware that I've got, so I'm not going to be in the box. I will be eventually, but this is just to get the idea out and just to get hands-on with stuff. I want the process of making this track to be fun. I want to just kind of enjoy pulling it together and getting experimental with sounds without thinking too much about an end goal. For the last decade, maybe even more, I've been really focused on hip-hop and rap instrumentals and beat making, and that's kind of been the core of everything that I've done. I've always worked on multiple genres for work I do for other projects, but for the most part, that's what I've kind of been pushing myself as a producer and I guess a beat maker. But I've always been more than just a beat maker and a programmer. I grew up in bands. I grew up playing guitars and drums and instruments. I'm no like wizard on any of them, but you know, I could be any of them in a band. I think I have been all of them in a band at some point. Point being, that's always been an option for me. And I also enjoy like a lot of pop music and just all different kinds of music I'm shown really. I'm quite open to listening to people's music recommendations and things like that. I'm kind of always fluid with my music taste. It's changing all the time, and I like some really cheesy stuff. I like really deep, weird stuff. I've never really been in a box like that, but I kind of have pursued things where I've put myself more in a box because it just makes more sense so that it's clear. But obviously, as the sound sort of dries up and the sound changes and music evolves, you know, I think naturally you always want to switch it up a bit. And don't get me wrong, I'm still making beats, but for different reasons. I'm not trying to get rap placement so much now. Like it's all just feeding into each other at this point. For this last couple of years, I've like been working with different kinds of artists. I've been refinding stuff within myself through doing that, alongside all the stuff that I do for sync and for things in that world. Kind of always just keeps me making different stuff. So I say all that because recently I've been allowing myself to make music just for me, like not for trying to pitch there or trying to land there or trying to do it for that reason or this reason. I just was curious, if I were to pull a project together, how would that sound if I just let myself write? And it's kind of got flavours of everything that I've listened to since I was a kid. It's like even got the Kerrang pop punk elements there. It's got like the indie stuff that I grew up on as well. There's like the hip hop sonics are there and certain hip hop decisions that I can feel. There's a lot of like alternative guitar music. There's strange electronic moments that it's all just stuff that's spilled in through working across rock music, hip hop, EDM, pop music, orchestral music, hybrid music, and you know, all different kinds of music at this point. So it's all informing it. And I've actually really liked the music I've been making, which is fun. I say all that because this is going to be just like me free flowing really. It could go a more hip hop way, it could kind of go anyway. I might go more electronic, I might not. I don't know. All I know is that I'm setting limitations until I get like an A and a B section to work with, and I can work with that and develop around that. So the way I'm going to set this limitation today is I'm going to use a recently acquired new toy, which is the Chroma console. I've wanted one for a while, and I think this is going to be a fun place for me to sort of experiment by just making sure that whatever makes up the initial idea, down the road I'll add all sorts, no doubt, if it becomes a song that I finish, but everything's going to go through that, one way or another. I'm going to find a way to make sure that everything has to go through that. So that is going to be the heart of this limitation. Then I'm going to commit to using this for all of my drum stuff. It's just really fun and easy to use. It'll be really easy to connect. I'll just be able to take 2 wires out, 2 wires in. So yeah, and it encourages me to not program anything. It lets me like play some stuff in, so there will be some feel to the drums without just going too MIDI. So, and for supporting melody stuff, I'm going to be locking to this, which is the Orchard or Orchard. I never know how to say that word. Orchard or Orchard. I think you can say either. But either way, this is a synth. Yeah, I guess it's a synth. It's kind of a unique little device that I don't use all the time, but I think it's great. And it's just one of those things I just wanted as a collector's piece just because, I don't know, it's just one of those that I just think you can look over at that and play with that at any point and it's going to be at least fun. Like I say, down the line, if I choose to make a song out of it, rules are out the window, I'll add whatever. But in order to get the idea out, that's that. So yeah. And then obviously guitar and bass, if I want to use them, if it feels appropriate. I'm more focused on getting just like an idea down, something that's going to inspire me to finish a song down the line. I've got no intention in finishing this. This is not like I'm here to watch me make a full song. It's more just like, just a video to just sort of express some creativity really, honestly. And you might see some stuff along the way that you think is cool or that you can take and twist and implement into how you approach a song, or it might just be fun to watch, you know, watch someone doing something. So that's the plan. So everything I'm working with except for the pedal doesn't need any power, so it's going to be nice to just be able to chop and change things in between. I'm going to start just figuring out some sort of droney sound just to set the pace and set the sort of mood using this. Not done a big prep for the video, just kind of want to show you the real vibes. So straight away that's just got some stuff on, let's see. I just need something to set a mood. Just something simple, literally, like something as simple as that. But let me get some effects on it. Try to get a little bit of like something reverby, a little bit of this texture. So this early stage of just feeling it out can just take me a little minute sometimes to just get a flavour. Yeah, see, something like that, just something really like not over the top. So with something like this, I'm not even bothered about setting a tempo first. I'll figure that out afterwards. I just want to kind of get it in and take a snippet of it. So now I already know that I'm going to turn that off and get straight into the drums in a minute. But first I need to just kind of like find where that tempo's sitting roughly, and I do this just, I really like use my eyes quite a lot when I'm doing this. And obviously it's not going to be perfect, I didn't play it to a click, but once I'm in the right sort of ballpark, that's when I just get fine-tuning in here. That's where it's starting to drift, so if I pull it back a bit and just not overthink it. So what this does is it gives us, like, even if I were to quantize something in the drums now or something, it's already kind of like moving around nicely, so I don't have to now feel like I'm making robot music because I've like started with something loose. So I can build on that 100%. Let me see if we're going to get some sound. So yeah, that's not going to work. What is that? I'm not bothered about saving that. Let's go for a kick drum first. If I leave this loop in, then as I find sounds, you'll see like how I'm letting that sample inform my decision. I'll turn the click off now because it is annoying. I think something that fuses like hip hop with sort of like even a bit of indie shoegazy vibes. I don't know. So adding this pitch effect in the movement is like weird. That's the fully wet signal, and it's delayed from when I'm hitting it. But if I just put like a little bit of it, put that on a mute group real quick. I know that's weird again, it's kind of strange, but I've got my thinking, you know, is something like on that Drake, we're loving the crew, we're loving the crew. So I can like, something like that might be interesting. I want to keep it simple, to be fair, and keep this kind of, just sort of like a simple. So that like kind of did random stuff, but that's the fun part about using hardware. I did that weird like, I don't know what's causing it. Like I like it, but I don't really need it. So what I'll do is I'll mesh some of the better ones together. And later down the line, I'll probably like layer that up with just some more refined sound so that we've got the speakers kind of moving the way we want. But who's we? I don't know why I'm talking about we. But yeah, something to just thicken up the parts that need to be thick on the drums. But this was more like that mid-range, top-endy, fundamental layer. I think I can tighten everything later down the line. Okay, so that'll do for this for now. I don't want to go any more drums right now. So for me, the natural next step is definitely a bass. I think for this kind of thing, I want to go for my Hofner bass. I got this randomly in London when I was there seeing some friends, and we don't have any guitar shops anymore. Like, that used to be the most exciting thing, is going like to a guitar shop, even not getting anything, just going and, well, looking around. But these days, we don't get to do that, do we? Because they're all taken over by online. So we don't get that experience really the same way, which is a shame. So again, we're still just going straight into there. I'm not even going to put any amp simulation on or anything. I'm strictly going chroma console with every bit of processing, at least at this stage. So my thoughts here are, I'm hoping I'm going to be able to get 2 riffs over this same thing, because then that's going to inform like an A and a B section later down the line, which I think I will. I'm not even going to DI, I'm not going to do any of the sensible stuff really. I'm just going to get to it, and if I really hit a problem down the road, I'll fix it. But sometimes it's just liberating to write like before you knew the rules. Let me look at some tones. I think it's going to need some sort of drive. Fuzz maybe. What I think is going to be the hard bit about this is not going too hip-hop. Whoa, what even was that? What even is that? Oh, a little piece. No, we want you on there. I like that. And then I need like a B section. Feels like almost like a bridgey, chorusy thing. It kind of feels like it's a song that could have like that false chorus thing. Cool, I like that. It needs to be a bit more dominating in the mix, I would say. Just gonna crank the gain up a bit. That sounded sick to me. Before I go to guitar, I want to do some more synth stuff. I don't want it to be quite washy, this sound, so I like the unpredictableness. It's a little bit messy, but I think we can do something with it anyway. It might be that I'll just take like one piece. I'm just going to record some stuff in and think about it in a bit. Cool. I've got a little quick idea for chopping up some structure that I just feel like is necessary. It's a little bit kind of like weird and basic right now. But once there's a big kick in there, it's going to make a lot more sense as well. I'm just going to stick some guitar stuff in now. I'm going to use this guitar, which is one I've had for years. It was a Squier guitar, now it's complete Frankenstein. I've like upgraded everything except the body. And I know that people hate relicking guitars, but this isn't really a relic job. This is me taking the guitar apart and just smashing it around. Just, again, in the name of just having something to do that feels interesting to me in that moment. Like, that's as simple as that. Again, I'm not going to blow you away with my guitar skills, that's not. So I'm going to put in a simple, like, arpeggiating guitar part at first, then I'm going to go in with some sort of root notes. Want another guitar that's kind of way more on top. So this last bit, I just want to get in some like power chords for when it lifts, really, and then maybe some optional just palm muted. I know it's not very exciting, but it's kind of not what we're here for. Now, I think that's enough to basically write a full song of this kind of style, this like almost Gorillaz-y, little bit Tame Impala, it's a bit hip hop. So the bass is, I just want to tidy up the mix a little bit. The bass is just doing too much. So there's a few ways I would approach bringing that kick level into a better place. One of them being this. Just like, it's all a bit rough, choppy, I know. But that's what we're doing. We're trying to get it to have that sampled, rough feel to the whole thing. It's like part of what we've set out to do. And I don't want to lose that by going too tidy. So now I should be able to just like have a bit more control over the level of the kick, really. You can see I could have fixed it earlier in the process. So another thing I would probably think about doing, I might switch that kick out altogether anyway, to something a bit more punchy, something with a bit of bite like that, for this type of track. So I know that that's on the grid and the other one isn't, and they're not lining up perfectly, but again, I'm doing that fully knowing that's what's happening, because this, you're still getting some feel through from that other one, but then we just needed something a little bit more controlled to tie it together. It was just a little bit too loose, and it might be that I just nudged that around, but when those two there, when these two hit at the same time, there's some overlap that I could, you know, work on differently, but the idea's down. Now that we've got that bigger kick in, there's other ways. It might seem drastic right now, but down the line, when you hear a finished song, it would be different. But I don't want to lose the like sonic effect that it's having. So let's just see if that pokes in the right way. The last thing I want to do is I just want to really loosely freestyle some potential vocal melody. I don't even know if I'll end up using this in the video. It feels like I just needed to see if there was a route to melody. What I would do now is bounce the instrumental, live with that, and just kind of see if I'm inspired again on a fresh ear, or if it just goes into the well, and then like another day down the line, maybe a year down the line, I might listen to that and have an idea that I feel could work. But I'll give it a little playthrough. I might mute and re-mute and unmute the vocals a few times. Oh, let me rearrange this. It just doesn't feel very good. Do I love it? Don't know. It's cool. I had fun. See, this chorus, this section's cool. The verse is a bit rubbish. That could be cool. I think I got the chorus idea better the second time. Yeah, I mean, I always put a vocal sketch in. I don't always, but a lot of the time, if I've got the time, I'll put a vocal sketch in, just because it gives me more of an idea of where the track could live. I went for the falsetto thing. I don't always do the falsetto thing, but it felt just like that kind of energy to me. It needs to be like laid back. It's like music that I feel like I would have on in the house on a Sunday when I'm like sorting some food or something, or like on a rainy night and you're just chilling at home. Just some backgroundy music, which I honestly think is underrated. Like, I don't think everything's about the best song and a hit, and like they come when they come, and if they come or whatever, it shouldn't stop you doing the stuff that is maybe a little bit more chilled, a little bit less pressure, a little bit more ideal for like background music, because at the end of the day, music's like a soundtrack to life. It sounds a bit artsy-fartsy cliche or whatever, but it's true. It's like why we're all into music. It's like a foundational thing that's going on. So you need music for different moods, and this is just something that's meant to be on as a vibe. And I think once it's finalized and actually given a mix and got some words, and it's not really about the words. This is one of those songs, it could kind of be about anything. It'd be super loose and dreamy and ethereal, and a lot of the songs that I've been writing have kind of had like this weird existentially vibe about them, which is cool because that's very much me. So it makes sense that just kind of like permeates through the music. Permeates. I want to find out if that's the right use of the word. Hey Siri, what does permeate mean?
Permeate means spread throughout.
Yeah.
Something pervade.
Yeah, so it permeates. That part of my character permeates through music when I'm writing it. So yeah, this was just a video of me just doing something creative, really, trying to get out of my own way, setting some limitations, seeing where it took me. I actually like where that's going. I can see a vision for how I could finish this song, and maybe I will. There's a few that I've got floating around, so it might not get the top of the pile, but I'm going to save it into the relevant folder and come back to it. I've got a folder where I just cycle through my ideas. I try and extend them. Like this one's nearly at 2 minutes now, so it's enough for me to put on and get into and see if any melodies come when I'm out and about. There's something about that stuff that if it comes so quickly that it's like natural, and I think that says something. I don't know, but I really like the bass line. I like writing that way. I like getting a bit of an atmospheric thing and then finding a groove, finding a bass line, finding something that pulls it away from where you think it's gonna go. And then from there, it kind of starts to write itself. The guitar on this one is very much just a utility. It's just helping add to the sonic texture and just the general feel and atmosphere rather than being like a lead part. It's playing its role. This is more led by that bass line for sure. That's going to be the thing that informs so much more of the melody. From this point, I'll probably just continue on the computer. The limitations are now off. I've got the idea, but it's interesting to see how just having to work with that, even for me, having to work under the limitations that come with filming a track. Like, it can't take me all day, I can't spend all day on it. So it made me have to think quickly and just stick with my ideas. And I honestly think it's a good exercise. I think even filming yourself, it kind of puts another pressure on that maybe will force you to get something done, but it's not for everyone. It can be long to edit a video. This is going to be a bit of a pain to edit. We got to have a little look at the Chroma console and see how we could sort of run drums through it and do all sorts. That's something that I've been needing to do, so this is giving me a good reason to do that. So I ain't really got anything else left to say. This is kind of it. There was no end goal particular. I just wanted to show a process. I wanted to be creative. I wanted to do something that would maybe push me a little bit. So hopefully you got something from it. Hopefully it was like an interesting watch and you picked up a couple of bits and maybe got an idea for something you might approach. But either way, that's me done on this one. I need to move on. I've got other jobs to do before the end of the day, and I've got to go back to being a dad. I'm going to go get one clip of me doing a kickflip. The brightness might be shit.